Now then, folks, how you doing? It's James JT at the movies, and I'm back here for my April DVD, Blu-ray and 4K update. So we're actually at the end of April 2021. We've got 3 days left, and I am expecting one more package, which will be the first thing that I'll show for May's update, because it's due to arrive at any point between the 28th and the 3rd of May. I think because of the upcoming bank holiday weekend. But anyway, I thought that I'd show you everything that I've picked up, as apart from that one thing, I'm not likely to get anything else arriving or be nipping to any shops that are selling media for the rest of the month. So let's jump in. We'll start with the DVDs and then work our way into Blu-rays and 4Ks, as we always do. The first one is a title that I've been after for an absolute age, and I've never come across it in the wild in HMV or CEX or anything like that. And for whatever reason, the thoughts always escaped me of just putting it in my Amazon basket. But anyway, happened across it in my local HMV last week when I popped out on my lunch break, and I'm really excited to sit down and watch this soon. It's the story of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Felicity Jones in On the Basis of Sex. I'm really looking forward to watching this film. I've heard superb things. The next film that I picked up was one that I was hesitant to get for years, literally years. And then my sister, when she came round the other week, because she's in our bubble, she came round for a bit of tea and we put Netflix on, and she says, "Oh, you've got to watch this. You loved the originals growing up. I think you'll love this." And I'm like, "Really? It's going to be..." She's like, "No, it's really, really great. Get it watched." And so we watched Vacation, the recent sort of reboot, remake, sequel to National Lampoon's Vacation. And you know what? I bloody loved it. I thought it was great. And the massive use of the Lindsay Buckingham track, Holiday Road. Obviously, for those who know me, I am a Fleetwood Mac super nut, so the fact that that song was used in full at several points during the film was a big plus. But you know what, I really liked Ed Helms as Rusty Griswold and Christina Applegate as his wife. I liked the two kids. I loved the fact that Beverly D'Angelo and Chevy Chase showed up in it. I thought that was great, and I really, really just enjoyed the film. Just a silly goofball comedy. And had a great time with it. If you don't go into it expecting the world, I think folks would have a really good time with that. The next one I picked up, I saw the trailer for this on another DVD when me and Laura were having a movie night in here, as we often do. We've started doing this thing now where for years we'd skip past the trailers, but we'll let them play now, because you just never know what you might catch your eye. And this was another one that really caught my eye. It's called Mississippi Grind, and it's got Ben Mendelsohn and Ryan Reynolds in it, and it looks to be a bit of a buddy road trip sort of gambling movie from what I could gather in the trailer. Ben Mendelsohn looks to have a bit of a gambling problem and doesn't look to, get very far with his bets, but then Ryan Reynolds seems to be a bit of a lucky charm. So I'm really looking forward to watching that one soon. In fact, so much so I think it's probably going to go on after I've finished shooting these videos. The next one I picked up was to plug another hole in my Jackie Chan movie collection, and also because Laura really fancied it. It's one of his sort of American efforts, and definitely aimed at families. It's The Spy Next Door. There's a horrible glare on that. There we go, The Spy Next Door. We picked it up, as you can see, in Poundland for £1, funnily enough. And figured why not? You know, it's one that I needed, and I do enjoy Jackie Chan in pretty much everything. Just dropped a title there on the floor, folks. Well, we'll leave that one in for you. 2 seconds. This next one, my good mate Phil, who, as I mentioned in a few of my videos, runs a podcast with me called Lost in His Own Museum. Link up there. Or it might actually be over there when... either way, there'll be a link somewhere. I've just shown you what the title is now. Well, he's gone on about this film on quite a few of our podcasts. Has been one of his favourite sort of classic films. And we recently talked about The Maltese Falcon, starring, of course, Peter Lorre, amongst others. And he sort of said that his favourite Peter Lorre performance was in Arsenic and Old Lace. Now, just this very morning, I went to HMV to pick up one of the titles I'm going to show you in a little bit. And I just thought, while I was in there, I was browsing through the Arrow section, and I noticed that they had some titles with like Vincent Price, Peter Lorre in, and I was looking for that one to see if Arrow had done a version of it, but they haven't. But there was that HMV DVD version. So again, this next one I picked up purely for the cast. I picked it up in a local charity shop. It's more of a charity warehouse, actually. It's a huge place near where we are. It was on the way to the HMV that we were on to, and obviously all the non-essential shops have opened back up again in the UK, so I thought that I'd pop in. And they've got stacks upon stacks of DVDs. They don't often get any blues in, but they've got loads of DVDs. But yeah, there's Michael Keaton in this, there's Glenn Close, Marissa Tomei, Randy Quaid, Robert Duvall, and it's a film by Ron Howard. And it's The Paper. There we go. Just had to show you that again because I held it up to the camera and there was a shed load of glare on it, which is no good whatsoever. But I've not seen this before, not even heard of it before. But I mean, that cast just absolutely sold me on the concept. Again, this next one, not heard of it, but it's Eddie Murphy in Metro, which I'm really looking forward to watching. Eddie Murphy in his sort of 80s and 90s sort of action movies are great. I really do like them. Picked this one up because it's Denzel Washington movie and the first film that Denzel Washington ever directed as well. I don't really know much about it other than that it's sort of a bit of a military drama, and it's Antoine Fisher. Really looking forward to watching this one. This next one that I picked up, purely for Timothy Dalton in it, actually, to be right honest. And then it's got James Belushi as well. And it's a bit of a gangster movie called Made Men. So I've never seen this before, never really heard anything about it before, and I can't remember which Blue Tuber it was, so apologies I can't give you credit, but somebody talked about this in one of the many community groups that we've got going over on Facebook, and I was just like, ooh, must check that one out. And so went and found it on Amazon. It was $3.99. So I was like, yeah, absolutely, we'll pick that up. I'm a huge Timothy Dalton fan. He's my favourite James Bond. Don't shoot me, guys. I know that's not a popular opinion, but I absolutely love him. And yeah, absolutely. Just thought that was worth definitely picking up when I saw the price that it was. Shall we jump into some Blu-rays? Let's have a look. So guys, there is a massive Arrow haul in this Blu-ray update, and even a cheeky Criterion and an 88 films release, as well as some standard stuff. So what I'll try and do is show you the standard stuff first, and we shall work our way up to the really nice goodies. So, a stack of Blu-rays here. I'll just pop the rest in front of me here. The first one that I got, there was a little charity stall opened up in an empty shop in the shopping centre near where I work. And I went in because I saw that they had a very humble stack of DVDs and Blu-rays. And then when I saw this in there, I thought, well, I've got to upgrade it for £1. I've got the DVD, I've watched it a couple of times, but I thought, well, for £1, I've got to get the Blu-ray of The Elephant Man. So yeah, I'm gonna have a look. So I know my DVDs are super duper special edition sort of jobby, so I'm gonna make sure that there's no special features on it or anything like that. But if there's not, then I shall be retiring that copy and obviously keeping the still factory sealed as well copy of The Elephant Man for £1 on DVD, Blu-ray rather. Fantastic. The next one I picked up in HMV, and it's one that I've been after for a while, but they've not had it in stock. I've got the DVD, but that's just the theatrical cut, and I've been really, really keen to watch the director's cut for a while because I've heard it's like a completely different movie, and that is Mel Gibson in Payback. This Blu-ray, as you can see there from the text, includes both versions of the film, so I look forward to giving that a watch fairly soon. So I picked this up in HMV as well, in their sort of clearance section, if you like, and it's the first Mission Impossible movie on Blu-ray. I have the DVD, and whilst it's perfectly watchable, this is possibly my favourite of the franchise, alongside number 4, and I really wanted a high-def copy of it, so I picked that up. And then when I was in Trade Me In, which is a local sort of, DVD, games, technology shop where you can weigh stuff in, and, they sell stuff at a really great rate and always try to beat CEX on their prices as well. I noticed that they had, for a really great deal, the rest of the Mission Impossible franchise, so I thought, do you know what, now's the time to upgrade. So for £1 I got Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, which is fantastic. For £3 I got Fallout. And then they didn't have 2, 3 and 4 individually, so for £4.50 I got the 4 movie set. So yes, it comes with an extra copy of Mission Impossible 1, but that doesn't really matter because I only wanted it for, as I say, 2, 3 and Ghost Protocol. So that's them all in high def now. And then again for £1, one that I picked up that I've been meaning to upgrade to Blu-ray for years is District 9. I really liked this film. I didn't when it first came out, but on subsequent sort of repeat viewings, I've really grown to quite love that film. So yeah, I wanted to upgrade that for a while and just haven't come across it on Blu-ray for a price I was prepared to pay. And well, for £1, I thought, I can't say no to that, can I really? Some more Blu-rays, folks, before we jump into the special editions. So, this is an American import. My good friend Mike, you might remember if you've been on the channel for a while, sent me a box of goodies at Christmas, and in there was Jaws, the special edition Blu-ray, because I think he'd recently updated his copy to the 4K, so he very kindly let me have his old Blu-ray, and after watching that on Blu-ray, it made me want to watch the sequels again. I don't know what I was thinking, but I did want to watch them, and didn't really want to watch them on standard def. I got the urge to pick them up on Blu-ray, which does happen sometimes for me, although I love my DVD. So I had a look, and then Jaws 2, 3 and The Revenge on Blu-ray. It was $12.99 on Amazon. It's a US import, but as is the case with most Universal titles, unless there's any sort of glaring rights issues, it's region free. I've obviously played them, and they're fine, they look great, and I've had a good time with them. So, I'll save them. The next one that I've got, so me and Laura did a Clint Eastwood movie marathon very recently. I vlogged it, and I'm in the process of editing it at the moment. It's an hour and a half long. It's probably going to be split into 2 half-hour videos. I just need to, obviously, trim it down because it's far too long at the moment. But one of the films we watched was the Eiger Sanction, and I've had the DVD for years, and the previous DVD player that I had the last time I watched it formatted it so that it was, you know, widescreen and sort of did a decent, but the 4K player that I've got, and the same with the PS4, some of the older DVDs now, it does like what it does with the Abyss DVD, where you get it in a little box in the middle of the screen. So anyway, for basically 20 quid, I picked up the Clint Eastwood collection, and in this it has Coogan's Bluff, Two Mules for Sister Sarah, The Beguiled, Play Misty for Me, a fantastic film, Joe Kidd, another great one, High Plains Drifter, Breezy, and then the reason that I picked it up was for the Eiger Sanction, because it's one of my favourite ones. So I haven't watched it in years, but it was one of them where it's like, actually I could see myself coming back to that fairly quickly after this recent rewatch, and didn't really want to put myself through watching the DVD with the little, you know, on the screen. It just not my cup of tea. Picked this one up in Poundland, taking a bit of a gamble. I mean, it's Meryl Streep, so it's going to be great, and it looks to have a bit of a musical theme to it, as in like musicians, not musicals, although I have nothing against musicals. But Ricky and the Flesh. Know nothing about it, taking a real gamble on that one. This one is a German import, and I've not watched it as yet. I haven't seen it for many years. The last time I saw this was on the TV, and it is Rutger Hauer in The Hitcher. So it's a German import, but does have an English language track, and obviously is Region B. That sticker is peelable as well, so when I do finally open it, that will be going the way of the dodo. The last sort of standard Blu-ray I've got, if you like, is one that Laura absolutely loved, and I really wanted to love, but just couldn't get away with it. Our Soph came round as well, and the three of us watched it. Sophie hated it. I was somewhere middle of the road, and Laura absolutely loved it. I really wanted to love this, but Nicolas Cage in Willy's Wonderland. Nicolas Cage is a bit of a, you know, sort of a drifter type character. His car breaks down, and the garage don't have, and the town don't have an ATM, so they can't take card payments, and it's a completely off-grid location. And so he's like, well, I'll tell you what, I'll fix your car if you do a night's graft cleaning my restaurant for me. And locks him in, and of course all the animatronics, sort of a la Five Nights at Freddy's, or you know, insert sort of thing like that here, come to life. Nick Cage just goes Nick Cage on them, and it should have been fantastic, but it just wasn't. It's a Nicolas Cage straight to DVD film. What was I expecting? I don't know. So, the next ones I'm going to show you kind of easing us into this whole sort of like collector's boutique special edition section of the update. So, these ones really are just standard Blu-rays with nice fancy slips, but I do like them. I've upgraded my DVD copies for all of these. First one, Scarface. Just great stuff. Need to rewatch it. I was talking to Jeff at 101 Bronson about rewatching it, and just really need to get round to it again. John Mondo Jolovic, you inspired this one, mate, because I know I've mentioned to you about wanting to get an upgrade of the Clockwork Orange and revisit it. So I did that, and again this 2 for £13 deal that HMV have had going on. My sister watching the Ratchet TV show has inspired me wanting to watch this one again. I've got the DVD actually, still need to get rid of that one. But yeah, Jack Nicholson in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Really looking forward to going back to that. And finally, one of my favourite Martin Scorsese films of all time, Casino. What an absolute heavyweight of a film. I'm really surprised that I hadn't bought this one on Blu-ray sooner, if I'm right honest, because just such a great film. But there we go. So should we jump into some special editions, some boutique Blu-rays? So the first one I'll show you is the one and only Criterion that I've picked up for this update, and it is Wes Anderson's Bottle Rocket. Now I've not seen this film, but I've been watching a few of Wes Anderson. I don't know if I could speak. I've been watching a few of Wes Anderson's films lately, and I've really quite enjoyed them, and recently revisited Grand Budapest, and you know, just thought, actually, do you know what? I haven't got this one. I'll pick it up, and rather than just getting the standard DVD release, I thought, well, I'll get the nice fancy Criterion, and see what it's all about on that. The next one that I picked up in is one that everybody has done an update for. So rather than doing an unboxing, I'm going to let you watch, all the other fantastic versions that our peers have done, and I shall just show you it briefly here. It is the Urban Legends trilogy. So obviously the 3 in the nice decent card box, the J card on the back, and it's got posters and art cards, and then even a special features disc on the first film as well, which is why the release of the product was delayed, because they actually added to that and went back to it, which is fair play to 88 Films for really putting it in. I got the I Know What You Did Last Summer set over Christmas when I won it in Carlini 09's competition, and I've loved revisiting that, and the picture quality was great. Watched Urban Legends. I've not watched the sequels yet. I mean, I have seen the sequels. I've had all 3 of them on DVD for years, and do quite actually enjoy them all as a little trilogy. But we watched the first one on Blu-ray the other night, and it looks great stuff. So I would recommend picking that set up before it sells out. I'm sure at some point over the summer or autumn there will be the standard sort of like slimmed down sort of non-limited run of it. But if you want the limited run with the nice card box and all the goodies and the extras, I'd jump on it now, because for 30 quid it's an absolute steal. The next box set that I picked up was reduced from $44.99 to $24.99, and again, it's one that I've been meaning to upgrade the first one, because I've not actually seen any of the sequels, but I figured that I'd give 2 and 3 a go for this price, and it is Hellraiser 1, 2 and 3, so I'm really looking forward to revisiting not only the first, but then seeing where 2 and 3 go as well, and for that price I thought, what an absolute steal. So here we go. So a lot of these are from the Arrow sale, and then some of them are from, again, Trade Me In that I mentioned earlier in the video. So we're just going to rattle through these. George A. Romero's The Crazies. Dark Blue. Runaway Train. Really looking forward to seeing this one. Day of the Jackal. This was one of my dad's favourite films, and it's been one that I've been really keen to watch for a while. Exorcist 3. As you'll know, I recently rewatched The Exorcist with Laura and had a great time with it, and I've heard that this is the only sequel, prequel, whatever, follow-up film worth checking out. So I thought, you know what, definitely jumping on that. Al Pacino in Cruising. Harpoon, the premise for this one really intrigued me. Looking forward to watching it. Dark Water. So me and Laura recently watched the American remake of this and had a fairly good time with it. My friend Mike, again, who chat to quite regularly about movies and music, recommended that I come and check this one out as well. And I know that Laura's keen to watch it again because of the whole sort of comparison to the Cecil Hotel, sort of thing that's going on with the documentary on Netflix. I picked this one up for a laugh. She's appeared in character recently in some episodes of Scooby-Doo, of all things, as Elvira, and I've not actually ever seen the original film, so I thought, while it was in the sale, I'll pick it up. I know that this series and all sorts of things, and the lady's played the character for years, but I thought, well, I'll pick that up and see what it's all about. This one's an upgrade. I've had the DVD for years, and it's a great film, and I figured for $7.99, well, I can't not pick it up, can I? American Werewolf in London. Again, this one's an upgrade. I gave Phil my old copy. I had a Dutch import of this, but really wanted the Arrow one. I got the Dutch import, and then about a month later, the Arrow one was announced, and I was like, I should have waited. But you never know, do you? But it's been one of those things where I wouldn't pay full price for it because it just seemed like a pointless double dip. But now it was really, reduced to a penny shy of £8. I thought, well, now's the time to do it, so I did that. And then this one picked up just this morning, and that is Raising Cain. It's a Brian De Palma one. I really enjoyed Brian De Palma's work, and really enjoyed Dressed to Kill, and this is of a similar era, so I'm really looking forward to delving into that. So I've just 2 4Ks to show you, and then that's our update done and dusted for this time. So the first one is an order from Xavi, and from what I can gather, this is available either on DVD or on 4K with a Blu-ray included, but not readily available on Blu-ray. It's a film that I've not even heard of before, but the premise completely sold me, and it's Robert De Niro and Mickey Rourke in Angel Heart. Apologies for that bit of glare there, folks. But yeah, really looking forward to checking this one out real soon. And then the last one that I picked up, because I'm a glutton for punishment, went and picked it up this morning, is the remastered Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition. Now, the Ultimate Edition of this film is superior to the theatrical cut that we all saw in 2016. And I just thought that given that Snyder Cut's obviously been out and we're getting the physical copy of that at the end of next month, I fancied seeing that as, it restored us to how it was meant to be. So I've picked that up to do my bit. I'm a Batman nut, to be fair, and a Superman nut, and just love my DC comics. So even though on the whole the film's not amazing, there are some absolute pockets of gold in it. The warehouse scene, the Trinity fighting at the end, and there's some really brilliant moments in that film. So I figured, well, I'll pick it up on 4K and enjoy it in the best possible quality. So there you are, folks. That has been my DVD, Blu-ray and 4K update for the month of April 2021. No Laserdiscs or VHS or wax cylinders or anything this time round. Just a fairly straightforward update for you. I do hope you've enjoyed watching. Please leave me a comment down below with your thoughts and drop us a thumbs up on the video if you have enjoyed it. But yeah, get involved in those comments down below. Let's have a natter. What do you recommend out of this list that I jump into first? Are there any recommendations you have for me based on the list that you've seen today? And if you're not subscribed to the channel already, please think about subscribing. I'd really love to keep you around a bit longer. If videos talking about movies, collecting physical media, DVDs, 4K and Blu-rays, unboxings, film reviews, all that sort of stuff, just enjoying all this sort of, DVDs, collecting and all that sort of thing's your cup of tea, then please think about subscribing. It would mean the absolute world. And if you do subscribe, ring the notification bell, and then that way you're the first person to be notified whenever I do post a video. Above all else, folks, please continue to take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.